we're going to kick it off with The Undertaker. So, Reg, we already knew that they were stacking up these shows, both NXT and AEW, but NXT right smack in the middle of the weekday after they had already made all of these announcements, all of a sudden did this promo that aired. I forgot if it was during SmackDown or Raw or both. I think it was both at this point. And after the NXT promo end, we just heard the gong and everyone knew, okay, they're teasing The Undertaker. What did you make of that, man?
It was interesting because I think that AEW, it was just kind of a happenstance of them ending up on Tuesday. WWE picking up the phone to call Mark Damn Calloway, The Undertaker, to show up in their little arena in Florida with their less than 1,000 fans or however many people in there seemed a little bit wild to me. But I understand, if we're playing a game, let's play the game all the way, I think. American Badass, was the last time was he American Badass? I can't really remember. I feel like he switches gimmicks all the time.
He does.
I thought that was a pretty interesting
he left the gear the last time that he was there.
Right. But then in the match with AJ Styles, I guess he was American Badass. So
yeah,
I can see what's going on with this. But I thought it was a good way. They really like Bron Breakker is what I'm saying. You guys, somebody said it in the chat about him getting put over by Heyman, Cena, and The Undertaker. That just shows how much faith they have in him, I think.
Exactly. And here's the thing, like I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh my God, they're bringing in The Undertaker. Who's he going to be mixing it up in the ring with? That was one of the topics heading into the show where people are like, okay, clearly you want to give it to someone good, right? If you're going to give The Undertaker rub to anybody, it's got to be someone good. So what we ended up having here was clearly we had the big main event that was promoted throughout the night, which was Carmelo Hayes versus Bron Breakker. And we've seen these two guys go at it before, and I think they definitely delivered once again here tonight. But the big thing here was that Carmelo Hayes had John Cena in his corner, and then Bron Breakker had Paul Heyman in his corner. And so we have this really phenomenal match, man. And we do see that at one point, Bron Breakker is going in to use the steel steps on Carmelo Hayes. John Cena goes in there and it's like, nah, you ain't going to do my homie dirty like this. This is not going to happen. So he helps him out there, kind of takes that away from Bron Breakker. And during this, we end up seeing Solo Sikoa come in. And Solo Sikoa and John Cena have been having these like couple of moments together, like against each other the last couple of shows. And so seeing them end up fighting and brawling out of this picture, you just see Solo Sikoa and John Cena fighting their way out. And so then afterwards, we end up seeing this match get back and Carmelo Hayes ends up getting the victory. But after this is when we see The Undertaker. The Undertaker comes in, he rolls in his bike, and he ends this is fucking wild, man. His bike, he comes in on his bike. Oh, it's a motorcycle. Can you say motorcycle bike? You could say both, right? You could say both.
Yeah, sure.
All right, he comes in his motorcycle, just to use the proper terms.
His motorcycle bike.
His motorcycle bike. And so during this, we end up getting a confrontation between Bron Breakker and The Undertaker. Bron Breakker gets feisty, man. He's all up on The Undertaker's face, and The Undertaker is not going to take no disrespect from him, especially after we end up seeing Taker tell Bron Breakker that he has been watching him, that he does believe that someday he is going to be a special talent, but that is not today. Chokeslam his ass, takes him out, and once he's laid out on the mat, he basically tells him that today he met the baddest of them all. And the closing shot was literally The Undertaker pointing at Carmelo Hayes and giving him the good old, you got my respect, thumbs up sort of thing. Damn. What'd you think of this?
I like the endorsements for both Bron and Melo, because Bron got an endorsement too. Being face-to-face with The Undertaker, Undertaker telling you anything in a WWE ring is an endorsement. So him taking the really strong choke slam, all that's really great. Melo played a great role here too. Kind of trying to be the big homie to John Cena, even though John Cena is the big homie, but like welcoming him into NXT, having really fun with that. I like at one point Bron tried to do the you can't see me, and John Cena was on the outside like, motherfucker, I can't believe you're doing my move right now. Really good stuff. But I thought it was a strong way to put over both Bron and Melo, which I think is the intent of it.
Yeah, it definitely is the intent of it. But that's the thing too, is that like looking at this, we already know that Bron Breakker, like he's been the guy since the second he came in. Everybody, he was already set up for a good future, right? Everybody's like, he's a Steiner, he's a Steiner. Look at the way that he looks. He's going to be something special. But then on the other hand, you have Carmelo Hayes. And we know how it is for small guys in WWE. It's a freaking uphill battle. But this guy has literally won, the NXT breakout tournament. He's a multiple time NXT North American champion, and he's had these phenomenal matches with Ilya Dragunov that seen him get the admiration from people like John Cena and The Undertaker. It just really felt so well deserved.
Yeah, I think I was always, even before he came in, I knew that he was going to excel pretty well here in WWE. But I mean, Denise, the small thing is really a thing. And I was nervous about that. But I mean, he's been defying those odds here in NXT, I think. Being multiple time champion, being the former NXT champion, getting endorsements by people like Shawn Michaels. I mean, if you look up interviews and if you just Google Carmelo Anthony, it's nothing but glowing reviews. Carmelo Hayes, sorry. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. You could Google Carmelo Hayes and it's nothing but glowing reviews. And you see Triple H and Shawn Michaels and all these guys giving it up to him. It's even better, I think, just kind of starting from the bottom and not being immediately one of those top guys, but like building from the bottom. I think that way fans are behind him. The people are behind him. When he does get to the main roster, it's going to help him.
Certainly, man. I think they did. I think they used The Undertaker very well here tonight. Like you said, putting these two guys over, giving them the rub, giving the fans and the audience a moment to be like, oh, we're getting to see The Undertaker this close. How freaking cool. And then the fans knowing that it's a rarity, especially those watching at home, knowing that's a rarity to get The Undertaker.